They both have magnet traction, which makes a world of difference with a tubular track.
A number 50 gang car runs on an independent line of track with 2 bumpers. While the layout is in very good shape, it requires a bit of maintenance.
The only thing I have to do cosmetically, the layout is done, but the wiring has to be worked on some more to get the accessories all working properly, get all the signals to work properly, and that's what I'm working on now, is getting the wiring all straightened around. I think the most favorite thing is about the layout, it's very toy-like. It's fun to play with the trains like they were meant to be played with. The sound of it and the engines going around and the steam coming out of the stacks of smoke, it's just really exciting to watch.
When you acquire a new legacy locomotive, you naturally will want to run it using the legacy system. While there are a lot of functions, this will be a simple quick start guide. One of the first things you do with a new locomotive is assign it a new command control ID number. First, you flip a switch on the locomotive from Run to Program. On the Cab 2 remote, you press Engine, then the preferred ID number, then press Set, and the engine responds with a blast from the horn. Don't forget to flip the switch on the locomotive back to Run. Next, you'll want to program the locomotive information into the legacy system using the unique module provided. Make sure you use the correct module for the locomotive it came with. It's labeled on the top. Address the locomotive with its ID number, then press the Info button. Next, insert the module in the top of the Cab 2 remote, and you'll be prompted to verify you have the correct corresponding module for that locomotive. When you press the Yes button, the system downloads the locomotive technical profile. When the Cab 2 says the transfer has completed, you can safely remove the module. Press the CTC button to exit. To program a pair of lashed-up diesels, press Train, the desired ID number, and the Info button. Select Build, the first engine number, then Add. Then enter the second engine ID number. If it's running backwards, press the Direction button and then press Set. After a few seconds, you'll hear the 2 engines acknowledge they've been successfully lashed up. Press and hold in the Auxiliary 1 button, and after a few seconds, you'll hear a bell and horn signal indicating you've just enabled automatically played rail sounds on the locomotive. Now you're ready to throttle up and pull a long consist of cars.
you're cleared onto the main. Over. Thank you much. Cleared outbound. Out.
Here's the sure way to give St. Nick the go-ahead for the biggest thrill any Christmas can bring. Ask for Lionel trains, the only trains in all the world with magna traction, the built-in permanent power that means more speed, more pulling power, more climb, more control.
In the late 50s, if Ken Klotz walked into Lionel's offices with an armful of animated accessories he designed and built himself, he surely would have struck a deal. Unfortunately, Ken was still in grade school in the late 50s. Ken's favorite toys were an erector set and Lionel trains. And if you observed how creative and skilled the young Ken was with his erector set and how he combined scratch-built erector toys with his Lionel trains, you may have predicted a life's work that would include pulleys, wires, gears, valves, and small motors. Now skip forward to 2005. Ken finally found time to start building his dream layout. For the past 30 years, Ken worked as a machinist and electrician and developed skills and techniques with machines like lathes and drill presses that will serve him well in building his layout.
I didn't really have a set plan or anything, thinking I was just going to run trains and not get into an actual high rail type layout. My layout is about 34 feet long and maybe 8 feet, 9 feet wide on the ends, sort of a dog bone style, additional 15 feet for a spur line. When I used to be a kid, I used to go down to the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago, and they had an O-gauge layout down there that was put out by the Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe Railroad, and it was just phenomenal. And they would just have the trains running, and they'd also have apparatus running, buildings with working towers and coal yards, and I wanted to be able to come home, turn the layout, and just watch it run and watch accessories without having actually push buttons. I like the continual operation of the accessories, and that's where I got my idea from, just from being at the museum.
So Ken combined what he remembered from the museum with the mechanical skills he has developed over the years to design original animations and accessories that run continuously.
The accessories I've made myself, I made that container loader, fork truck type. Seen them in the yards. I always thought that would be a neat piece to watch work, and I made it. Some of the parts are actually out of an old erector set I had from when I was a kid. Some little timing motors and just a little ingenuity, but most everything is underneath the table, so with little cams. And I have an ore tipper that that's made out of a kit, but actually it didn't come with a motor. I put my own motor in there, and the little cart goes up and down on a piece of HO track with HO wheels I connected to it, and it reverses. When it gets to the bottom, it reverses back up, and then I just reverse the engine again, and the motor, and it'll go back down again, come back up again. There's a string attached to it, but it looks like a cable. The water tower is, I have a small electric motor underneath the table connected to some pulleys and some fish line. Underneath is just a wheel connected, and it just goes around. When the wheel's up here, the spout is down here, and when the wheel's down there, it pulls the spout up. Pretty basic things that you could find in a book in a library.
All these animations that Ken has designed and built himself operate on the same basic theory. DC motors connected to cams turn rotary or circular motion into reciprocating or back and forth motion. But it's more fun just to watch them work than it is to try to explain how they work. Besides, magicians never tell how they do their tricks, so let's just enjoy watching Ken's magic and not worry about how he does it. Ken picked up an auger from an old discarded Xerox machine. Ken thought it would look neat and modified the 455 Lionel oil well to accommodate it. A 24-volt motor under the table turns the auger. The motor is powered by a 12-volt DC transformer. Ken referred to photos in train magazines to guide him in the design of his block signals.
I like to keep everything to scale, including the figures, the cars, all my signals I try to make myself just by buying aluminum rod and the bulbs and hook them up. And I feel it's, even though you can buy scale signals, stuff like that, I enjoy doing it myself. They're not all the same, they may not all be prototypical, but I look at a picture in a train magazine and copy that. But I don't really follow any rules, and I don't think 99% of the people that come down there ain't gonna know either.
Ken likes to keep a variety of trains in his yard area, ready and waiting for mainline duty.
And then I could just switch one in, pull it out, run it around, pull it back in, pull another one out. And it makes it easier for, if you have some people come and look at your layout too, you can show a number of trains without, too much problem. Well, with command control, I have one main line, so I can run 2 or 3 at one time. But altogether, there's about at least 10 engines on here that I can pull out. I just have more variety. I don't have to take the trains on and off. Whenever I come down here, I probably don't do the same ones all the time. I find you got to have the heavier cars near the engine and the lighter cars at the back end of the train.